Yo, what's going on? So, ignore my crazy hair. We are in my garage. I did some cleaning, and I kind of realized after championships that my garage was just sort of a mess, and so was my basement. So, over the past couple weeks, I've just been dedicating time to cleaning my space up, so I have room to walk around. You can actually hear my voice now echoing, which is kind of crazy because yeah, but today we are going to be doing some tow vehicle upgrades. Over here, we have all of the stuff that we would need to install a radio, I hope, in that thing. So this truck is now in the garage. I did not knock the snow off it because I don't care. And we did clean up a bunch of oil, so that's good. We are going to now probably go in and figure out what we need to do. All right. So this was a lot easier than I would have imagined. Oh, also, by the way, I did install the tow controller from my 4Runner in this truck. This truck has a spot you just hook it straight up to. You don't need to drill any grounds or anything. It's pretty sick. So that's mounted, and then the wire is wrapped in the dash. So all we have to do is just remove this bezel first, and then after we remove the bezel, I'm going to hardwire that dash cam into a spot in the fuse box down here, so that that only turns on when the ignition's on, because these two cigarette lighters here are always on, which is really annoying. And then I'll finally have Bluetooth. I won't have to use any of these stupid little adapters. And then this adapter has a switch on it, and I have to remember to switch it on and off every time I get in the truck to get the dash cam to work if I don't want to drain my battery, and that is a pain in the ass. So we're gonna, they told us in the manual that we need to, and the manuals from the guys who made the adapter kit, that we need to take this and put it in first gear to remove the rest of this bezel. All right, it's out. Cool. All right, y'all. So we have this radio, and so I just basically cut the connector off for the Chevy unit, and I'm plugging this in now to see if we got anything. Just splice the wires together real quick. Let's see. Okay, we got noises, and we have no power. Just kidding. Okay, so that has 0.3 of a volt. Okay, so that could be a problem. Maybe it's this wire then. Okay. Boom shakalaka. So here, 0L. Negative 0L. Okay, so that's cool, I guess, but like, that just means that the radio is going to be on all the time. All right, so we're going to try and test for a ignition only spot on one of these connectors back here. Hopefully we can find one, and then we'll just tap into it. All right, we have this, I was hoping not to have to use this, but we are using a soldering iron. The reason for that is because we had to pull this wire here for one of the lights in this truck out. When I depin this gets voltage only when the key is in and on, and if it would, and it says hello, and then it says goodbye. Cool, so that should work.
So I probably should have prefaced this video by saying I've never installed a radio in a car before, which is kind of crazy considering all of the work I have done to cars. But with that being said, I didn't think to buy an adapter harness, but I did buy these couplers from Amazon that have solder in them and heat shrink in them. And it allows you to basically join two wires without using a soldering iron. And I tried some different methods. I tried using the heat gun. I tried using a torch, but a regular lighter ended up working really well in the end. And the install actually came out pretty good, and I'm pretty happy with it despite it taking like 25 minutes.
Bro, it is about to get so 90s in here, you don't even know. Check this out. Look at the song that came on when I put on this radio. Oh, come on. Yeah! I wanna wake up where you are. Something on my butt. Dogs in my head. And it's on here. Bro, it works. Sick. All right, so this antenna is for a Chevy. That antenna spot is not for a Chevy, but this antenna does work with this radio. It's actually just a little bit too small. So the plan is to get some aluminum foil on the tip of this to take up any space that's not there in that female receptacle. And then we're gonna add some electric tape around this connector so that it stays in there snug. All right, so come on, Chevy. It always does this. All right. Okay, and we got some Dembo. At least it was Dembo. There you go. DJ Lobo Radio Show. Yeah, sound system, bro. Hey. All right, so now we are out of the truck, and we have this ghetto universal radio install kit, and well, I guess we'll walk through that. All right, so they have these two brackets that go on the side. This one looks like this guy. This is the left, and then this one looks like and they shade which brackets. Like, you need to. They basically like make this like plastic injection mold garbage, and then you have to like break off like tabs associated with it. It's not even cold in this garage. I don't understand. So we're gonna heat this knife up and cut it that way. Should be a little bit better. A little less ratchet than what the directions want us to do, but still in, you know, DJ2 track rat fashion. Ghetto enough, right? All right, and I made more mistakes. Well, not really mistakes, but I didn't read. I mean, I don't really know how to read.
So if you've ever done a radio install on a car, you've probably seen these like sketchy adapter kits from this company called like Scosche or whatever, Scosche. And it's basically the worst quality product I've ever used in my life. That's exaggerating, but it's pretty bad. And the reason is they sell these adapter kits that fit like all sorts of trucks and cars. And they're like, yeah, it'll fit your car after you cut off 7,000 tabs and spend $20 on it. So I really shouldn't complain. The install went okay, and I made it look not too bad for the money.
Okay, so we had good news and bad news. So the good news is that we got this ghetto monstrosity together. It really is horrible quality, but that's okay. The bad news is that while this does kind of fit, like vertically, which is awesome, I give up. It's too wide. So we're gonna have to trim this so that we can fit this in there.
So I finally broke out the Dremel instead of using a hot knife, and I decided to measure out from side to side the width of this little compartment, and then I realized very quickly that the bezel would cover this, and I didn't care. So I just started cutting away, and eventually I was able to mock up the radio in this little ghetto piece of whatever from garbage, and yeah, came out pretty good.
There's something there. Does not look very good, but you know what? That's fine. All right, y'all. Here's the old radio. Basically good as garbage. Go in the trash because that thing doesn't do anything. And let's put this in wide angle mode. There we go. So, still got to clean up the interior a little bit, but check it out. We have a truck with the radio, boys and girls. The fitment really isn't that bad. I mean, it was a $30 radio with a $20 installation kit, and I really worked my butt off to try and make it not look terrible because it is aftermarket, and, you know, aftermarket stuff usually looks pretty terrible. So here, check it out. Put the ignition on. Radio turns on. And want to turn it off, you just hold it. Turns it off. Turn it back on. Antenna works. I didn't pay for anything in terms of a conversion kit or anything. So now we got the radio in. So the next step is to get that dash camera wired up and around down here and then into this fuse box. All right, so the table is somehow worse now, but the good news is the truck works. So in order to get this dash cam to work in the truck, the dash cam needed to have a specific voltage and amperage supplied to it. So what I tried to do originally, get this, it should be around here somewhere. I basically tried to cut up a mini USB cable and wire it directly into a 12-volt power source. I tried a 5-volt power source in the truck. Nothing was working. So then when I would plug it into an outlet adapter that had, you know, this is, I think, like 2 amps and 5 volts. the camera would work. So what I did was I have this old radio thing, and you can see the adapter that plugs into the cigarette lighter is off. But if you look at the faceplate for this, it says 5 volts and 2.1 amps. So what I did was I took it apart, I soldered to the front of it the positive connection, the negative connection goes on the side, so I soldered that. And then what I did was I made wires that come out of it, and it taps into the fuse box. So on these trucks, it's very hard to find switch 12-volt power that only comes on when the ignition comes on. There's 2 fuses apparently, one of which was a lie, but this one works. So this is connected to the dash cam and the radio. Previously, the radio was connected to the dimmer, and I didn't know it. So when I would turn this off, the radio would go off. But yeah, so we fixed that. The ground goes here to the body. And what I originally got to correctly do this, because you're not supposed to put wires directly into a fuse like that, was I got these adapters. But the problem was the adapters were too small, because I thought that, if I can even find them here. So I thought that this this Bussmann adapter would work, but they're actually too small. So I'm going to try and return those. Hopefully I have the receipt still. It was like $10 a pop. And then what these do is they allow you to plug into the fuse, and then you can tap into the fuse with, you know, with a wire or whatever. So we're going to do that. We're going to go to, you know, Advance Auto or Amazon or whatever and get that fuse. But the good news is, like I said, everything now works, and it works properly. So I'll give you a quick run through. But the radio's in, and then the dash cam's in, my Bugio dash cam. And you can see this wire is tucked all the way up here. The adapter is electric taped and shoved back here. You can't see it, but that's how I got the correct voltage and amperage. So now when I turn the key on, the dash cam comes on, the radio comes on. You got some sweet classical music playing. And then when you turn it off, that goes away. And then this says shutting down, so that shuts down. So we have it done. We have a tow controller here. We have a radio that connects to Bluetooth for the phone, and we have a dash cam hardwired into the vehicle. It's going to be a huge quality of life improvement, because I had to, like I said, switch the dash cam on and off when I was turning the truck on and off to go on road trips and things like that. The radio was the same. It didn't do any. I had to connect it to one of those AM/FM Bluetooth adapters. So that's good. And I'm just going to try and hot glue in cigarette lighter in the truck, because it is falling out, and I'm not buying a new one because it is a cheap Chevy truck. So yeah, that's pretty much it for today, guys. I'm going to clean the garage up, and hope you enjoyed watching this one. Take it easy.